Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you my piggy build mode map and all the progress I have done so far. This is currently part 3 of the series and yeah, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so one thing I would like to say before I go ahead and start showing you what progress I've made so far, I would just like to acknowledge how far apart this is from the last time I did this. I know it's only been 2 months, I believe, since the last update I've done, but usually I like to do it at least 1 month, apart. So sorry for not keeping them kind of consistent, but let's just get right into it. So the main thing I have mostly focused on is the dock here. As you can see, I have at least 4 triggers here and some dialogue blocks. I also did update the color a bit. I updated what block I used for the dock because when I added this boat here, the blocks were just too tall for the boat, so there's no way it would work out, so I went ahead and did this. But other than that, I just updated this dock mostly. This boat here is to symbolize you docking from the cargo ship. So basically, you take a small boat from the cargo ship to the dock to obviously get to the island. I have a few dialogue blocks. I believe this one says something about you docking finally, and then this one states how the ship has finally left because these triggers trigger the light off and on the ship over here, so that yellow one that's very far over there. So that's one cool feature I added, but it might change. Another thing I have changed here is also I've smoothed out or gotten rid of the rough edges that were usually around the blocks. I don't believe, well, okay. In my opinion, I didn't like how it was just so just blocky. Well, obviously they're blocks. So I smoothed it out to make it look more neat and at least so the ground and the levels transition better. Because obviously this looks way better than having a block next to a wedge. So adjusting that was probably the best thing I did. I did it all around here, so here and then also over here and then along here. So I did that. Another thing I did was I added this whole new mountain range just to hide away the monster spawn because I want the monster spawn to be mysterious. So you just walk through here, through this little cave opening. You'll be met by a bunch of trees, dead trees, and a bunch of grass blocks that are supposed to have items in them, but currently do not. Again, this is still the cave here. The cave's still here. I simply just put cliffs around them, so again, it seems mysterious. The piggy spawn is still here, and the cave is still dripping wet. Oh, that sounds a little weird, but it's okay. Okay, I believe that's it for this outer area. I think the mountain is next. One thing I have done is I have finally, at least I believe, I have completed this the mine shafts in here. So I have all I forget what they're called, but I have all these bridges here, obviously that were used by miners that would obviously transfer ores and stuff. But they don't have railroads, they just have the bridges. I have this rope event here, more bridge, just a bridge up there. And I still have a bunch of the offsets here, just in case if I want to adjust anything. I also added ladders, and I also added these railroads that lead to something, but are currently not activated to anything, because that's something, well, they're not attached to anything because I haven't started the process of building what I want to build, so that's currently, again, still in progress. So I have 2 here, 1 and then 2. Okay, well, before we go over there, I added more spikes along the caves, and I did add this death block because obviously if you fall, you die. Yeah. Over here, I started building a staircase that leads up to a temple. This temple requires at least 3 items, I believe. I have 3 items that need to be Yeah, so this needs a blowtorch, this needs a gas can, and this needs a TNT. It's got dialogue also, and obviously an explosion entrance. But at the moment, there is nothing attached to this temple. I will get to it though, but obviously currently not at the moment because, again, I still need to build. I still need to build this area, so that's still in progress, but definitely I'm getting to completing this cave because last time I left it, it was just something I randomly built, and I was confused on what I was going to do, but I finally figured it out, obviously. That's it for, I believe, this mountain area. If we go through this this door right here where you need to use TNT, you'll still be met with the same area, same dialogue, but one thing I did change was definitely when you fall through the trapdoor, or technically the broken board. Instead of water being here, I removed the water because instead of how I intended it to be, how you would just like be held in the water, you would immediately just fall straight through instead of actually staying in the water and being able to look around the area a bit. So I definitely changed this up. Right here, I used a powered block and some sound blocks to make a crashing sound and to open this up as if it was crashing. See, this is how it would look if someone were to activate it and it would crash. Well, obviously break open and like at least show how somebody fell through. So yeah, that is basically all I've done for this area. This area has only been adjusted a little bit. Only a little bit because I did adjust these the invisible blocks and the trap doors and everything, so those are fixed. Definitely also the triggers, touch triggers. Sometimes they can malfunction, which is a problem that I'm still trying to figure out, but that I'm still having a little trouble with. Again, that's pretty much it for this area. Nothing was really changed here. Oh, well, down below here, though, you'll still fall down to the same empty area, which I'll obviously add something in. I'll obviously add more stuff in, but currently at the moment, it's still going to be empty because I have no goals for this area at the moment again, but it will obviously come into play because I don't want to make this area for no reason, obviously. Okay, so this is still the same. He's still trying to get to this SOS tower or research tower. But this time, once you fall through that trapdoor, I do have the goal of actually getting to the lighthouse instead after your plan fails to get to that research tower. So now here, there is, I guess, a platform and staircase that was built here to obviously lead to the lighthouse, because how else are they going to get to the lighthouse? There's no other way. So obviously you'll go up here, head to the lighthouse, and obviously turn, this goal here is obviously to get to the lighthouse, but the reason why you want to get to the lighthouse is to obviously, well, not obviously, but is to activate the light here. In the game, actually, usually the cutscenes before the lights that's emitting here was on beforehand because it wasn't a powered block. But I took out the light that was originally in here from the tutorial I found. So I took out that light and I instead put powered blocks, and I changed that up to the so basically the dialogue where it says where your player says in the intro cutscene, weird, they were notified of our arrival. Why don't they have their lights on? I forgot the full dialogue, but it does mention something about how they're not signaling for you, technically, basically showing you where you're supposed to dock and stuff. And in the cutscene, it is instead off than on, so that's a great fix. I also obviously changed this power block because this was a normal light also, but that needs to be a powered block also. This is, but other than that, yeah, so this is the escape area. So once you arrive at this, when you arrive, the lights are off, but once you finish the game, the lights are able to be activated, which is something I was able to figure out, which in my opinion is very, very cool. But pretty much that's it. I also did add this smoke here to kind of be able to hide the cargo ship, but I am thinking of changing it because at the moment I have a feature where here, I believe one of these triggers, so this first trigger, I believe if I can get, yeah. So this first trigger activates all of the smoke, and it, so yeah, this first trigger activates all the smoke first, and then, let me confirm this, and then this second, no, I need this. Give me, no, okay, I'm not, okay, here. And then this second one activates, oh, okay, the second one activates this, knock gate, I believe is what it's called, and turns off this powered block, or at least makes it disappear, so it's, looks like the cargo ship's leaving. So with the smoke emitting and the cargo ship light off, it technically looks like it's gone. But I am just thinking of changing it to the ship actually moving by using some animated blocks from a tutorial. I forget who it's from, but I will list it up on the screen. So definitely I'll do that. Okay, but that's pretty much it for all my goals and what I've done so far. That was a pretty quick little progress update. I am actually having a really fun time building this map. At this point, I believe I am like 55% done with the progress. There is still a lot of things that I need to go through, such as actually the town. If you have noticed, I still have not finished the town or even started it. I did start a sketch though, so I'm getting to work on that. I'm just having a little trouble finding out where all those doors are gonna go and how you're gonna get all these items. For example, for the temple, for the grass blocks in here, for the rope event in here, and also for this door right here, this explosion door. I mean, there's dynamite laid here, but that's obviously going to be changed sooner, and definitely this big area is going to take also a lot of time. But that's pretty much it. So I would like to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!